Those are two hipsters. And the punchline is that they pay for their foodie porn with foodie stamps, which sounds like it should be a terrible thing, except it's on salon.com, which means they're going to try and tell you how it's a good thing. Which they don't. Because they can't. It's madness. It's very easy and satisfying to hate these two, and nothing would make me happier than to hit them square in the back with a jack-o'-lantern. But I also recognize that I am being told to hate them. So I have to take a step back and find out why it is so important that I hate them. I did. I should have just reached for the pumpkin. No one but the state and psychiatry can profit from another's misery. And they are the same thing. So let's see why election day doesn't matter. First, the obvious. What's wrong with hipsters on food stamps is that these are college-educated people who should be able to get jobs, not live off the state. They're not black, after all. Hell, one of the two in the article is even Asian. What, like Russian Asian? No, like Asian Asian. What? It's the economy, stupid. Thanks, guy from 1992. But the economy did not tell you to go to college for something you knew in advance would make you unemployable. Especially when that unemployable choice cost exactly the same as the employable choice. Lesson 1 at the academia should be the importance of separating vocation from avocation. As character actor Fred Thompson and electrical contractor Benjamin Franklin both understood. When I was 6, I wanted to be in Playboy. Just because it's your dream doesn't mean you should pursue it. So what makes them hateable is the seeming choice they have made. They could work. Yes, at jobs they don't like, but hey, that's America. But instead they choose to feel entitled to $200 a month from the rest of us salarymen. However, secondly, before we blame them for their choice, we should ask why they felt they could make that choice. I'm not trying to start trouble, but let's choose something I'm familiar with. Women. Why would a smart high school junior, 4.0 in AP everything, think that going to Hampshire College for English Literature was a good idea? Why would her parents allow this madness? Other than the fact that they were divorcing? What did she think would happen given that she knew in advance there were no jobs for English majors? Serious answers, please. I law for 4. I had personal experience with law school, academia, non-profits, marriage. Don't roll your eyes at me, young lady. Let's say you are the daughter of a lawyer and you major in English. When you were 17 and you imagined your life at your dad's age, not the starving poetess fantasy you wrote about in your spiral notebook, but a glimpse of the bourgeois future you then thought you didn't want. What kind of a house did you imagine in the fantasy, if that happens to me I'll Sexton myself scenario? A lawyer's house, or an English major's house? In other words, the choice to major in English was predicated on information she received from multiple sources like schools and TV, sources I will collectively call the Matrix. It controls the myth that every generation does better than the last, that there was a safety net of sorts, a bailout at the end, that future happiness was inevitable. And so we return to economics. The general name for that safety net is credit. America was the land of the minimum monthly payment. And if this analogy isn't clear enough for you, let me reverse it. The ability of the economy to offer English as a major required a massive subsidy to make you feel like $20,000 a year was the same as free. If you had to pay it up front, you'd either be an engineer or $80,000 richer. That subsidy is now worthless, not because the money doesn't exist, but because the bailout at the end, the 4 options I suggested, were operational from 1977 to 1999, which guaranteed the payments would be made. They won't help now. When we see a welfare mom, we assume she can't find work. But when we see a hipster, We become infuriated because we assume he doesn't want to work, but could easily do so, on account of the fact that he can speak well, that he went to college. But now suddenly we're all shocked. To the economy, the English grad is just as superfluous as the disenfranchised welfare mom in the hood. The college education is just as irrelevant as the skin color. Not irrelevant for now. Not irrelevant until the economy improves. Irrelevant forever. The economy doesn't care about intelligence. It doesn't care what you know. Merely what you can produce for it. The only thing the English grad is qualified for in this economy is the very things she is already doing. Coffeehouse agitator, Trader Joe's associate, Apple customer, and spouse of a capitalist. Of course I'm not happy about this. I like smart people. But that's the new reality. There was a time where women went to college to get an Mrs. degree, and I am telling you that the time is today. There's nothing else of value in there. Sure, some college women go on to become doctors and CEOs, and some go on to become child pornographers and salon writers. None of those things have anything to do with what happened in college. If you were going to college to get an education, and not to meet guys, you are insane. Literally insane. Delusional. In reality, one is never going to happen, and the other is going to happen anyway. And you could have gotten both for free at a bookstore. It worked for me. The only question for the future single mom is whether it's worth $20,000 a year to meet guys. And the answer is, of course it's not. Even nightclubs let ladies in for free. It's hard to accept that the University of Chicago grad described in the article isn't employable. That the economy doesn't need him. But it is absolutely true. But my point here is that not only is he not contributing, the economy doesn't need him to contribute. Which is good, because there's nothing he can do for it. Anything requiring science is out. People will say, well, he can work manual labor. I love how people assume economics doesn't apply to construction. The demand for those jobs is very high, and hipsters suck at them. At any wage, Jerry the hipster will always be outworked by Vinny the son of a longshoreman, who will always be outworked by a Mexican illegal. The system will always be able to find someone who can do the job better and with lower labor costs. Bonus. No need to pay Joe's health insurance. Everyone knows Hispanics never get sick. Except fake psychiatrically. Hipsters are not good at retail or sales unless detached irony is required. Which it is not. Which is why they run food stamps. The hipsters want to believe that because they are not obsessed with money or capitalism that they are better people. Opting out of materialism. But that's an after-the-fact rationalization. There's simply no drive for anything except existing. We're artists, not producers. Then make some art. I couldn't hear you crying. No one will buy it. Are you insane? The point isn't the money yet, it is the drive. Go to the Whole Foods and ask if you can hang it for free. And if they say no, hang it anyway. I'd rather look at the most horrendous art than Subway or lose weight fast ads. The natural human instinct is to create things. Beginning with a toddler who is amazed that he was able to create such a fascinating product out of his butt. The difference is most toddlers grow up and sublimate that drive and create other things. You have not gotten past the poop. Strike that. You have regressed to the oral stage, hence the emphasis on organic foods. Yes, the anal stage comes after the oral stage. Fact, college is a total waste. But we haven't yet hit that point in society where we can bypass it. So we have to pass through another generation of massive college debt. How to pull in the suckers in? Answer, these articles. By getting you to say, These hipsters should be able to get jobs because they are college graduates. You were saying, college is worth something. It isn't. But by directing your hate towards hipsters, you are protecting the system against change.